Bài cô của cái gì thì tại sao thì
Yeah, Vijay, we can go ahead. People will join soon. 50 are there now. Yeah.
Good evening, sir. I'm audible. Good evening, all. Loving Heavenly Father, we come before you with grateful hearts as we gather here today for the second day of our 1 week online faculty development program on ideas for publication using AI and statistical tools. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to learn and grow. We ask you to bless our resource person, Professor Y. Ramakrishna Garu, guide him and give him wisdom so that he may share his knowledge clearly, especially on today's topic of literature review using AI tools. Lord, give us attentive minds and open hearts to learn with interest and joy. Help us use this knowledge in our teaching and research. Inspire us to work with sincerity, dedication, and excellence. Bless all the participants and help us to support and encourage one another. May this session be useful and meaningful for everyone. We offer this prayer in your holy name. Amen. Over to you, Vijay sir.
Thank you, sir, for giving this opportunity. Good evening, sir. Good evening, all. It is my privilege to introduce today's distinguished speaker, Dr. Y. Ramakrishna. Dr. Ramakrishna, currently working as professor and program head PGDM at Institute of Public Enterprise, Hyderabad. He has over 23 years of experience in both industry and academics. He was also associated with ICFI Business School, Hyderabad, Ethiopian Civil Service University, Ethiopia, Mallareddy Group of Institutions, Hyderabad. He taught finance, leadership, and organization psychology courses for MBA students in India and abroad. Dr. Ramakrishna also brings valuable industry experience, having worked as a financial analyst with consulting firms in the United States. This unique blend of academic rigor and industry insight enhances the relevance and practicality of his teaching and research. He published several research papers in Scopus, ABDC, and Cabell's listed journals at both India and international level. He successfully completed two research projects, one minor and major, funded by the UNDP and Ethiopian Civil Service University. His current research interests are PSU's performance, SDGs, linkage between ESG and organization performance. His commitment to academic excellence is complemented by his passion for societal contribution, as evidenced by his efforts in conducting numerous training programs to enhance employability skills among students. We are honored to have such an accomplished academician and thought leader with us today. I am confident that his insights and expertise will greatly benefit all the participants. Little Flower welcomes you, sir.
Thank you. Vijay, thank you very much. Thank you. And I also thank Dr. Prashant, Dr. Swapna for playing for me as well as introducing me. As Swapna was mentioning, I'm Professor Ramakrishna representing Institute of Public Enterprise, Hyderabad. At Institute of Public Enterprise, we with a motto saying that sharing a knowledge is gaining a knowledge. And in the past 3 years, almost we conducted hundreds of training programs, trained around 20,000 plus students and 15,000 plus faculty members across the country, even in international domain. Our director, Professor Srinivas Murthy Garu, has a vision saying that academic social responsibility. As an academic institution, it is our responsibility to share our knowledge with the faculty members as well as with the students. Today also, morning at 6 o'clock, I went to Karimnagar. And in Karimnagar SRR Government Degree College, we conducted student development program there. 3 o'clock started there, came back here. And in meanwhile, Vijay is asking me to, sir, join at 5:40, 5:40, 6:45 and all. I said, boss, I just came. And just when he called, I said, okay, give me 2 minutes of a time. So still I'm in my office. I didn't go home. Now we don't feel this as a tired thing. In the sense of traveling almost 500 kilometers, coming back and conducting again another session here. We actually feel that this is a contribution that we are doing to the society. And there is also an agenda of promoting our institution that we all know why we're doing all these programs. I don't need to tell to you all. At Institute of Public Enterprise, we are one of the leading business schools. We have a 540 intake. And almost every year we are, and highest number of intake in a business schools in entire Telangana and Andhra Pradesh state. 540 is the number we have. And every year we fill placements, all this. And I thank Vijay also referring few students this year. So many faculty members from Commerce Department refer their students to college. You name any top college in Hyderabad, their students are there with us in IP. This is one reason. And second is why we go to the colleges is we want also share our thoughts to the faculty members there. How is that we are training the students once you send them here, so that you can mold their things also. I just saw 1 or 2 years, Mallikarjun is also there from City College, who joined just some time back. Government degree college or City College, we closely work with them. So this is a core idea of IP joining into the institutions. Maybe next Saturday, after my session, our director sir will also join. Yesterday, we started one more program with the New Horizon College of Bangalore. Parallelly, 2 programs, 2 FDPs are going parallelly. So some of the faculty members taking sessions there, some of us taking sessions here. So parallelly 2 sessions are going. So yesterday, director was occupied with that, so he could not join. Maybe Saturday, we are planning to bring him. So this is a brief orientation, a 3-minute pitch about Institute of Public Enterprise and the purpose why we are doing this program. Now coming to the session of today's, It is artificial, this is literature review using AI tools. Now, when this topic is given, and this is even I chose this top. Now, the session which I'm going to handle for another 40-45 minutes. Many of you are sitting there may not like this, may not my approach of a literature review, because today what everyone is doing related to literature review and what I am going to preach for next few minutes completely, or it may be a contrasting. Why I am taking this contrast opinion is, or a contrarian thing is, I am an old school person where literature review is done in a different pattern, different way. Now new school is there, younger generation, students, even faculty members, everyone is looking at the AI to get the help and all. Unfortunately, what is happening is, even after putting so much of effort in using so much of a technology, playing with the GPTs, giving a different prompts to the GPTs, and mesmerizing GPTs and all, getting the output, when you send the literature or when you send a paper to the journal, immediately it is getting rejected. Or when you send for a conferences, it is getting rejected. If students are taking this literature review to the faculty member, the supervisor is outrightly saying that this is a AI generated literature review. Now, 100 in the sense, so much of a time and effort which has been put in doing a literature review using an AI tool is going in vain, not of any use. Now, I am going to start from that perspective. Why is that we are not able to do a good literature review using artificial intelligence? And how is it we can take the help of AI tools to overcome this challenge? That's one. Second is, when any individual writes a paper, majority of the times the plagiar comes in two sections. One is the introduction section and second one is the literature review section. And highest comes in the literature review section. Because for the generations, literature review is a most boring and most tedious task that any researcher do. So we want to have a shortcut, or we want to have a simplified method of doing a literature review, and where we don't have a time to read. Let us say if you take a good journal article, it runs around 20 to 30 pages. Now, if for a simple journal you have to write an article, you have to read around you have to refer, not read. You have to refer at least 20 articles, and if you're referring at 20 articles, mean you have to read around 50 to 60 articles. Now, reading a 50 articles, each article of a 20 pages. Now, imagine 1,000 pages. Now, where is that we have a time to read and all? So that's the reason why we are looking for alternative ways of doing it. And in 90% of the times, we are getting challenges or rejections because of a literature review. So with this intro about a literature review, the challenges that we are encountering and all, I'm going to present you my thought process on this. And second is, at the end of the session, please don't ask me any question saying that or mentioning that whether the plagiarism will be or literature review will be considered as a plagiarism. Anything you are doing with the AI, it is a plagiarism. Except this question, you ask any other question. Because when you are taking someone's work and saying that this is my work, it's a plagiarism. You take AI work or someone's work, it's a plagiarism only. So anything that you are taking content from the AI is a plagiarism. There are AI plagiarism detecting tools are there which easily caught. Forget about AI tools. You go to any faculty member and they will tell that this is a AI content. So now taking this I'll share my screen. Yes, I'm allowed to share my screen. Yeah. So when I'm sharing my screen, I guess I will not be able to view all. Somebody who is there, Dr. Prashant or Vijay or Dr. Swatman, just see that whether my share is, and this is my screen is visible or not, so and so.
Sure, sir.
Entire screen. Yeah, this is my screen. All right, I guess you are all able to view my screen now.
Yes, sir, your screen is visible.
Right, thank you very much. Now, what I'm going to do is, first we start with the a topic which is given to me, mentioning that literature review using AI tools. And Professor Ramke, this is a brief intro. Those are all fine. So literature review using AI tools. Now, so I'll start from there only. In the sense, using AI tools, what is that we get? Now, these days, all the AI tools become more commercial. Earlier, they used to give a content for us for a free and all, but now they started using one or second use. Then they're asking us to pay. Now, let me take you to one. All these, I guess you see all the windows there, the bottom. Now, for ease of convenience and the time to save the time and all, I run everything there, keeping the windows open so that I just demonstrate the windows. Because now I don't need to tell you how to do a semantic scholar search, how to do a Google Scholar sketch, or how to do a research rabbit, citrus mapping. All this, nothing is required because everyone is doing everything. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Mistral, all are using. So instead of giving a prompts things, demonstrating and wasting a time out there, I run everything there. So ready-made things are available. So I demonstrate one after the other. Now let me go with something where I use the Claude. Now this is the Claude output, and you can see my screen here. And you can read the prompt that I gave to the Claude AI. Then the same prompt I give for ChatGPT also, same prompt I give for others also. You can any AI tool is there, you can do it. So just I ask it to write a thematic literature on AI and its impact on higher education students. Use 20 reference papers, arrange a review in a chronological order. End of the review, give a summary, give a gap or a gaps identified. This is what generally we ask her to do. Now what it did, it gave me a neatly clean literature review. You can see here is the thematic literature review of artificial intelligence, its impact on higher education. As I asked it for 20 and in a chronological order, it gave a chronological 2015, 16, 20, so 20, 24, likewise each year, what it happened, so and so forth. And then finally, it gave a summary, a chronological table of research. Then summary, identified research gaps. Perfect. Literature review is done. So what a student or anyone do is just take this and come to us and say that this is what. But if you look at, there are certain glitches or gaps in this literature review. Let me show here. It gave you references. Author names are there in the references, and focus area is there. Key findings are there, but sources are not there. Where from this data has been collected and all this A. Now, when I asked it for sources and all, this is the message that I got. I would love to answer this, but please upgrade to Pro, access AI models, generations, final output. That means now one trial I gave, now you pay and use it. Now this is the thing which we got with the Claude. Now the same AI, in the sense the same prompt which I given to the AI, I gave to the GPT also. Let me come to the GPT, the most intelligent machine on the earth. Now the same prompt which I gave to it, the same prompt, there is no change in a prompt. Just simply a copied prompt there and given it. Write a thematic literature on AI and its impact on higher education. Use 20 references and that's perfect. Now it gave a more, in the sense, more academic kind of a thing. So it started with introduction of your literature review, then synthesize 20 articles, put them in a chronological order, and also identify the focus areas. So early foundations of AI, personalized student this, then Baker and Hahn AI for bond transformations. Likewise, what it did is the entire AI put it into different themes, then give a content. This is how we write a literature review. Author, it gave some literature reviews. All the 20 I asked it. Literature review has been given. Everything is perfect. Then what I asked is suggested it to give it into a different thematic roles and as per a APA format. Once this is done, now summary, it also gave a summary. It also identified the research gaps for me. Everything, whatever I asked it gave, and references also it gave, like a citation, like a Baker and Hahn 2021, Slimy 23, and then Cotton 23, 24, 25, 26, 20 references is done. Formal assessment. Now it gave me a clue asking me to saying that Formal assignment style review with APA 7 reference in site extension. You want it? I said, yes, go ahead. Give me that. Then it gives you another thematic literature review and its impact on AI, introduction. Now, this time, if you look at inside text, citations are there in the first paragraph. So it looks like a Slimy 2024, Johnson 2025, review of literature, chronological order, then Baker and Hall, so and so forth. Now, this time, what it did is it used the academic format where we actually do it. So accordingly, it framed the research, so and so forth, so forth. Then, yeah. Then thematic synthesis of synthesis, styles, product, everything is there. Summary is also there. Research gaps are also identified. References also. Now you see, it gave a clear references also. Now in references, if you see, author name is there. Citation as per API. Author name is there. Then year is also there. Title also there. But journal details are missing here. If you look at all the things, journal references are missing. Now, most of the times we don't pay attention for this. This is because all the literature review has been conducted, everything is systematic, fine, gap, everything is fine, references is also there, simply we copy and paste. Or there may be many people who are here who are using AI in a more frequent way, more better way, can get a much, in the sense, detailed literature review or more sophisticated literature review. But look at these pitfalls. One is in the references, author name, year is given, title is also given, journal details are not there. Now, once this is there, journal editors, if you find even a single article missing the journal reference, they simply reject it, desk rejection. Now, if you are putting a 20 references, in 20 references, at least 2-3 references are missing with the journal citations or details, author immediately editors will reject that work. So, the smarter, because I know this, I become more smarter and all. Then I asked it to give me full references with the journal details. More sophisticated way of asking it. I asked it to give me full references with the journal details. Yes. Now you can see that journal details are also been given. Baker and Horn, longitudinal algorithm bias in education, international journal. Now you can see that International Journal of Artificial Intelligence in Education, empirical study, and then Journal of Applied Learning and Teaching, Innovation in Education, International Journal. So this time, when I asked the GPT to even go specifically with the journals, because I know that journal details are not there, my editorial assistant will reject the paper. So I asked it, it gave the journal details. Now this appears to be a complete research, in the sense complete literature review. So you have a thematic, organized in chronological order, you find a summary, synthesized it, then you have your, what I can say, identify the gaps, then references, 20 references with citations, DOI, everything appears to be very good. Now, this is a more a promising way. Now, once all this is there, complete every section, everything is there. Now, can we say that this is the perfect literature review and all? We go with the 1 or 2 examples here. Say here I am talking about a Baker and Horn 2022 and his DOI is available. Then I look at same, what is the literature it is given for Baker and all. Just pay attention and read this. So Baker and Horn 2021, the literature review that ChatGPT gave to me, a summary or synthesis of that particular entire work is that Baker and Horn's work laid important groundwork for later studies by discussing both the promise and risks of AI in education. Their discussion highlighted the capacity of AI to personalize learning, identify struggling, so and so forth. This study is significant because it established an early balance between opportunity and ethical causation in AI use in our students. This is the summary what ChatGPT gave us for this article. Now, using this article and we write a paper and we'll send. Now, we need to understand who actually reviews our papers. Any paper we send for a review, initially desk rejection will be done, or AI, what they have their algorithms also, it will also match what is there in the journal article and what has been written here. So comparisons will be made. and they'll check whether this comparison, exactly what is written in an article, what is here, is the same or not. Now that's a simple technology, and any research assistant just simply you are saying that Baker and Horn DOI is there. They open a DOI. Now I'll show you what exactly it is that. Now what is the research assistant to do there? So research assistant or editorial assistant using the DOI, I click the DOI there. If you see here, the chat GPT, the DOI is here. So I click this DOI and went to a new page. This is the article, Algorithm Bias in Education. And if you see here, article title is the same, Algorithm Bias in Education. Article is the same. Journal is also same. DOI is same. Everything is perfect. Now, once this is there, just have a read of an abstract of this paper. You don't need to read anything about that. Just read the abstract of this paper. In this paper, we review algorithm bias in education, discussing the causes of that bias and reviewing the empirical literature on specific ways that algorithm bias is known to have manifested in education. While other recent works, so the core focus of this paper is addressing the algorithm issues in educational research. And they are trying to differentiate their paper from others in the form of what is a new methodology or a model that they adopted to it. Now we review evidences around algorithm biases in education, beginning with the most heavily studied categories of race, ethnicity, gender, nationality, moving to the availability of evidence in biasless student categories and also and so forth. Now just we'll scroll this to their important findings or what is that they are studying. So theoretical perspectives of bias, bias algorithms, so on and so forth, origins of the bias, forget about all this. Now, what you have learned about algorithm bias, they are talking about race and ethnicity, the nationalities, gender, then limited population and all, navigate the dialects. So can now, because you're all there, I take a 1 minute of a pause. You tell me, what is the literature review or the synthesis that the GPT gave for us for this article? And what is that the article has been talked about? Is it the same or they different? There's a question for the participant. Just you can text or turn on your microphone and answer. Or you can put it in a chat box. Somebody can read it for me from a chat. I'm showing you this is the what GPT explained. Nikita, they are different. Okay. How different, Nikita? Roger, or very different?
Very different, sir, because on the paper it is talking about algorithms, whereas here it is talking about personalized learning and how AI is going to improve, I think, student engagement, something like that.
Yeah. So completely, in the sense, what exactly the article is talking about and what is that? This, we put it completely different. Now, when is that we know this is? Only when we actually read the paper. Right? So, ChatGPT or any GPTs, whatever that they do, they'll not give you the 100%. Maybe we say that, okay, this is a one thing which happened. I'll also look at another article, the same, from the same. Charting and cheating, ensuring academic integrity in era of a GPT. This is another article, and it's a full what you call full paper is also available here. Now, the use of artificial intelligence and who are the authors here? Debbie. Now, let us say what exactly it talked about. Check this. Where is the citation? why? I just tried cotton and all. Is it related to cotton? Yeah, cotton and all paper. Now we just go to cotton and all paper here. Cotton et al. Cotton et al. Focused on academic integrity in the era of GPT. Their work directly addressed how students may use generative AI in assessments, especially in writing a basic task. The paper argued that AI can provide immediate writing support and improve productivity, but it also undermines reliability. The study is central to the literature because it brought student misuse, assignment, integrity concerns. Now, what actually they did? The use of artificial academy is a hot topic. This paper examines opportunities and challenges of using GPT in higher education and discuss the potential risks and rewards of this. The paper also considers the difficulties of detecting and preventing academic honesty, so on and so forth. Now, this is another version of using a paper, right? So, point what I'm trying to address here is AIs may source the articles which you are talking about, may give you a literature and all, but most of the times what it gives and what it is in the paper may be completely different. And then your articles, maybe we may say that the journals for which we send may not be able to find out, but no, because journals these days receiving hundreds and hundreds of papers every day, and the people who are there, starting from an editorial assistant, is well versed with all the concepts in that particular research area. Now, if you look at the AI in the sense output of a GPT, in this, most of the articles are from the same journal. Let me say that this is a journal of International Journal of Artificial Intelligence in Education, International Journal of, again, DVOI, International Journal of Education. Another is International Journal of Education. Another is also International Journal of Education, International Journal of Education. Of the 7 papers, 5 are from the same journal. Now you imagine the editorial assistant who is sitting there on the other side would have read all this because it is published in their own journal only. So when it is published in their own journal, maybe they have reviewed, they studied all these articles, everything, and they have some understanding of this paper. Now, if you're writing the same article in a different perspective, then they can easily know that, okay, this is not the author did not do a proper literature review and send out. So this is the another, in the sense, pitfalls. Why? Because after using our so much of human intelligence and writing a literature using a chat GPT or any other GPT in a more fanciful or more rigorously, still it is not getting accepted. In 90% of the times we are missing these basic tenets. Fine, this is one. And second part. Now let me go with the other places where we can see now literature reviews. Whenever we want any literature to be conducted, I suggest start with a semantic scholar. Yeah, here is a semantic scholar. Now, the advantage of going for a semantic scholar is you'll search for an article and it will give you some insights and citations and all. That's the one. And the advantage of a semantic scholar is that you can start literature review in a cascading way, in the sense most recent paper first, and from there go back. Let me say the same. I use AI in higher education. We start with the basic search here. Now, once you have basic search, it is giving you around 15,000 of research articles. Now we are not interested in that. So you narrow down this. Say I want to say that I want to study in a business. Then a date range. As I said, you go with the cascading, most recent to the backward. So you mention here 2024 or 25. Then narrow down. Then it has got a PDF because we want to download the PDFs and all. Then journals, conferences, fine. Now we have from 15,000 papers, we came down to 224 papers. Now, among these 224 papers, not every paper is of your interest. So then what is it we can do is here for a sort by relevance and sort by a citation count. So the paper with highest citation will be on once you click this, you get a PDF here and you can download a PDF. So why I'm suggesting is whenever you are doing a literature review, you need to download the PDFs and you start working. So literature review, research rabbit, all this will give you on the same topic or multiple topics. These will give you hundreds and thousands of references and all. Now, instead of making your work simple, AI is actually making your work more complex. Now, these many number of papers are there, how you have to read and write. And second is on the other side, if you're blindly relying on a chat GPT to do a literature review, chat GPT, Claude, you take any GPT, 90% of the times literature review, what is written by these AI tools will not match exactly what is there in a paper. Because they work on different algorithm, in a sense, natural language processing method, and where it tried to simply summarize because 20 pages, each page is around 800 words, then around 1600 words or 16,000 words. From there, it has to give in a 50 to 100 word summary mean. It simply look at the most frequently used words there and combine and give you a literature review. That's where entire literature reviews which has been created using AI is making it a challenge. Now, I'll come back. As I said, I am an old school person. Then how is that we need to do a literature review? I'm not saying that don't use AI. You can use AI for your literature review, but use the AI for literature review in a more systematic way or in an organized and in a scientific way so that you get a better results. Now, let me start with when you're talking about a literature review and all. First and foremost thing that you need to know is why is that we are doing a literature review. Now, if you're doing a literature review or a PhD, it is entirely different thing. If you're doing a literature review for a journal article, it is a different thing. If you're doing a literature for conference or seminar papers, it's a different thing. And research proposal, different book chapters are different. Among all this, our focus will be on first 2 or 3. I'll just pay attention towards it. So if you're doing a PhD literature review for your PhD, yeah, ma'am. Anyone have a query? Okay. So if you are doing a literature review or a PhD, then that literature review need to be extensive. Extensive in the sense, almost you need to cover 100 to 200 articles, where you have to start from the core concept to the current event. Let me tell you a simple example. Suppose somebody is talking about how the stock markets function today, or what is the impact of this. From there, this is how different situations, context, information is running the market, information asymmetry, all these things. From here, you go back to the places where Modigliani and Miller was talking about efficient market hypothesis. The proposal first. From efficient market hypothesis proposal to till date, whatever it is there, you have to cover everything. I mean, that's where hundreds of articles need to be reviewed. Right? Hundreds of articles need to be reviewed, and then you have to make a strong history that okay, this is where the topic of efficient market hypothesis has developed. From there, it took the next stage. This is what happening today, and from this entire thing, you have to prove that you have thorough understanding of your topic, right? Whether it is market efficiency, market anomalies, or leadership behavior, employee engagement, whatever it is there, you need to have a thorough understanding of what exactly it is there. That's how the literature review has to be carried out in a PhD thesis kind of thing. It will be extensive. Maybe you need to read, gather some 100, 500 journal articles. From there, narrate it to identify them, shortlist them. Finally, you have to represent around 150 to 200 research articles. That's a PhD kind of a thing. Next, coming to the journal articles. Now, if you are looking at a journal articles, the first thing that you have to do is, first you have to choose the journal for which you want to send your paper for a publication. This is very, very, very important. First, you choose the journal for which. As we mentioned on AI, many of the papers are published in International Journal of Artificial Intelligence or Learning and Educational Learning. So, if you are targeting for that journal, then if you're in your literature, there are 20 papers. At least 8 to 10 papers should be from that particular journal only. Then only the possibility of your paper getting accepted will be very high. Or if 10 is not available, at least 5 to 6 articles related to your topic and which has been previously published in that journal, you have to collect those first, do a literature review of that and put them. Because in the references, because if my journal objective is something and some of my competitor's journal article is there, you are writing a quoting competitor journal articles in my journal, I am doing a marketing for my competitor. So this is how the mindset of your journal editorial assistants or a journal editor. So majority of the articles from the same journal. And in case of a journal articles, you don't need to write something like in 1950 it started, 1955 it started, 1960 it started. No, for journal articles you need to be very crisp, saying that, boss, this is the literature which has been happened. These are the areas which has been not captured. That's it. In a sense, your literature review will be very focused and very narrow. And most of the times what we see is people, even for the journal articles also, they start quoting from 1920, 1925, 1975. No. If there is one or two seminal papers, then it's fine. Seminal papers we have to use. But apart from seminal papers, putting some paper here and there is meaningless. All contemporary research papers in the past 2-3 years, which is working on this particular area, what research has been conducted and where the gap is there, that should be the idea of your journal research article. So doing a literature review for journals mean 99% of the times the paper should be most relevant one, except there are seminal papers. The number of journals required for seminal, as I mentioning that it is a 20. That's what you identify the journal, look at the number of references that the journal is on an average is having. Take for example, Journal of Finance, Journal of Organizational Behavior. They all will have almost 40-50 references there. Minimum 40 or 50 references there. Normal journals will have a 10 or 20. So how many number of articles to be referred, it again depends on the journal. That's why I'm saying that first identify the journal, what topic articles are published there, then how many references are there, and the relevant areas. So you come to know that, okay, in the last 3 years, in this area, this discussions has been happened, but this is the area where no research has been carried out. Directly you have to tell. For that purpose, you don't need to read hundreds of articles. For that, you need to identify 30-40 articles, refer them and put. This is where you have to differentiate. Now, next is how is that you are going to write your literature review. I'll just simply, one way of writing your literature review is going a chronological order. As ChatGPT asked it, it gave me a chronological order in the sense starting from 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. This is where if this kind of a method we need to adopt when you see that there is a progression in a research. Suppose take for example AI in education. AI in education, this is a new topic and there is a lot of a progression which is happening since post-COVID time. So 2021, somebody conducted some research, 22, 23. This chronological order makes a sense in these areas or any new product developments, any medical discoveries. In all these areas, chronological order. And on the other side, you have a method called as a thematic. Now, thematics are different schools of thought, putting them at one place. Take for example, I'll give a simple example. Because I teach corporate finance. In corporate finance, we have some theories called as a dividend decision theories. For a basic, those who are not well versed with finance, I'll put it in a very simple term. Companies makes a profit, and once a company make a profit, it has got 3 options. one, distribute that profit to all the owners. Second, retain all the profits and reinvest into the business. Third, partial profits to be distributed to the shareholders and retain the other amount. So these are the three different options that they have. Now, based on this, there are multiple theories in literature. Somebody saying that by paying a dividends to the shareholders, the value of the firm will increase. This is one argument. And there is another argument saying that by paying the dividends to the shareholders, value of the firm will decrease. And there is a third argument that given a constraint, in the sense if your company rate of return is higher than the borrowed levels, then it has to reinvest into it, do not pay any dividend, and different comment. Now here what happened is three different themes are there, or we can call the three different schools of a thought. School thought of A, thought of B, and school C. Now this is a thematic. Now you take any research, any studies, everywhere there you find these different schools of a thought. Somebody supports an argument, somebody opposes an argument, somebody says conditionally saying arguments. Take for example behavioral. We all are employees and working. Now the question starts is why is that we actually work? Or let us take for example learning habits. Now time is around 7:50, and near about 80 people are sitting here attending this session. Now we'll ask a question. Why is that we are attending this session? Now we have a different purposes. Somebody wants a certificate, somebody wants to learn, somebody wants to know new things, somebody just have no other work, then we have to sit. And then now another point comes is, okay, by attending this session, is that going to add any value to you? Now some says, okay, we attended a session, we got. Some says that, okay, we attended a session, we didn't get. Now so different thoughts, different opinions are there. You identify them and do a research what is going to work. Then it comes that whether online teaching has any effective or any impact on the participants. And then, so online teaching, if conducted during the office hours, will have any effect on the participants. Now these are the different themes which we are talking about. Then another is methodological approach of writing a literature review. In case of a methodological approach, what we do is we focus more on methodology section, whether it is related to sample, whether it is related to data analytical tools, whether it is using data or statistical techniques. So complete concentration will be on that. If you look at our first paper, it is talking about algorithm based. Earlier it was like arithmetic based. Now they said that arithmetic based is not working properly, so we are using algorithm based. Now algo is their methodology. Now the concentration will be on method. Sometimes we say that sample. Now somebody has conducted a study in an African context, but now you're conducting a study, similar kind of study in an Indian context. Now sample is part of your methodology and you're trying to see that different cohort and you're putting it. So your literature review completely need to focus on the cohorts only. That means when you are sourcing a papers for your literature, so whether you have to choose whether you are doing a thematic, whether you are doing a methodological. Now, if you're doing a thematic, then you have to collect a papers related to an argument that how many authors are supporting this argument, how many authors are opposing this argument, how many authors have a middle way, and in this entire synthesis, where exactly the gaps are. So that's how you have to write a literature review and present it. Now, if you're questioning on a methodological, then you have to source a papers related to methodology only, not about a thematic. You have to measure on a methodology. That means somebody conducted a study in the age group of 25 to 30. Now, somebody has conducted age group of 35 to 40, but there is no study conducted between 28 to 25 because this is the where actually the AI is used more aggressively. So that's where your methodological, in the sense, all your research papers that you are quoting need to be addressing the same cohort, all right? Or if you're talking about a mathematical models, now XYZ used this mathematical model and they got a R-square value of so-and-so, and this got R-square value of so-and-so by using this. But by converting my data into some kind of a transformation, some other method or something else, I can build a more precision model. That means your complete thing is on a model that is a data and data analysis. Now, if you're writing a paper, something like this, all your literature should be related to that part only. So I guess this is making a sense for you all. So what kind of a research article you are writing, whether you are looking at a thematic, whether you are looking at a methodological, then there's also we have a pyramid kind of a thing, inverted pyramids, where we look at the core important point first, and based on that we do a literature later on. And a wheel kind, if you are doing a multidisciplinary research, suppose you want to solve a mathematical, in a sense, a management problem, but using a psychology, using a mathematical modeling, using an artificial intelligence, and combining all this, and you want to work, then it is a wheel. So your literature review should be on this. Now, on a methodological paper, you can't put something a thematic, or in a wheel paper where we are talking about a multidisciplinary, you can't completely skew towards psychology or mathematics. So this is very, very crucial and beginning step of your literature. This is what kind of articles that you are going to source, what is that you are. Now the second point is, if you are using an AI, then you tell to the AI very clearly that this is what my idea of a paper is. So there are three different thoughts of opinions in this area, and I want to focus on this. Now you give me articles related to thought 1, thought 2, thought 3, thought 4, synthesize all this, find out the gaps and give it to me. Then the AI will give you more meaningful reply than what a crude or a naive representing is that. Then another way of looking at is, any research paper is there. Now, why I am insisting on is, you have to download the PDFs of all these papers, because many of the papers which are not open access. All right. Suppose if Taylor and Francis is publishing a papers, that Emerald is publishing a papers, or elsewhere is publishing a papers, majority of these papers are not open access. You have to either buy or you need to have a library access. Then crux comes is, if somebody is from some college and saying that I read a paper which has been published in the Journal of Finance, and you quote that, then the people will easily know that Journal of Finance cannot be accessed by this person or this quality. Then it's a gone case. So download the PDFs, read them, or at least understand. So at least you need to have those PDFs with you. Or if PDFs are not available, at least you need to have access to those papers. Now, the papers for which you don't have access, the papers for you don't have a PDF copies and all, never ever refer or quote those papers in your literature review. That will be creating a more difficult problem. Now, when you have a paper, a PDF or any other things, now and using a chat GPT or any GPTs, what you do is give each paper, upload it, and ask it to ask these questions for it. What are the theories mentioned in this paper? It will tell you 1 or 2 theories. Note down of those. What is the sample that is considered in this paper? Take that. What are the methods that you use to take findings, similarities, uniqueness? So each paper PDF, you upload it and you ask it to give this outputs. And once it gives you output, put them in a tabular form. Serial number 1, you have an article, and who are the authors for this article, journal details and all, purpose of the study. Because from a PDF, you're not reading entire paper. You simply gave it to the paper, uploaded the paper to the GPT, and extracting the specific points from that paper. What is the purpose of this paper? Now, if AI to algorithm paper, you can say that algorithm biases in education. It will give you, this is my purpose and this is what I am measuring. It will not tell that this is student related. So you will get exact purposes of the paper. And also, it also theories, which theories are mentioned in this paper, and what is the sample, whether the sample is conducted in higher education institutions or primary education or degree colleges and all. Then what are the methods which has been used, how data is being analyzed, how that all, what are the findings, similarities, uniqueness, and the remarks. Now, even if you have a 50-100 papers, now you put a 50-100 papers, do this analysis and put it in an Excel sheet. Now you're saving a lot of time here. If you're able to understand 2 things that I'm talking about. One is, first, you need to identify the purpose, whether you're doing it for a PhD or a literature review. Once that is done, then identify the journals, your target journals for which you are going to write a paper. And from that, related journal topics, all in the sense topics you have to identify which is interested to the journals. Then using that, go to the semantic scholar or Citrus or Google Scholar, anywhere, give the topic and see that where you have a full access papers. Especially first preference is a paper should be related to the same journal for which you are targeting or journals you are targeting. Maybe at the same time we may target 4-5 journals. So for the 4-5 journals which you are targeting, see that the papers are from same journals. Download them, put them into one repository. Now take each paper, go to the AI tools. Now this is where I can say that. Yeah. Now chat PDF is there. Go to a chat PDF, upload one paper. Then once you upload the paper, instead of asking the chat PDF to give it entire thing, ask it this format. Give me this format. You can just copy this format and put there, and you give it to as a single prompt. So, and you tell that, give me this in a bulleted points. Article title, followed by authors, followed by general details, followed by purpose of the study, theories, examples, so and so. Exactly this format you give for all the papers. Every time the same prompt you give and review each paper. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 30, 50, 100 papers. Once it is done, you have a clear table for you. Now, once you have a clear table for you, then you will be easily able to understand what is that you have to write. Or else what you can also do is, once using this AI tools and all, literature census and all. Now, once you have this table with you, now this table, you can upload it to the GPT and ask it to write a literature review, synthesize this and write a literature review. It will write and give it for you. Now, when you're uploading this all, instead of going for, in the sense, GPTs, open GPTs, there are something called as a local, I'm just typing here, local language models. Local language models are there, like Gemma is there, Olama. These language models are there. You can use those models and run. So when you are using those models, what happens is all the analysis that you are doing will be within your computer only. It will not go outside. For that, you have to download some application and use it. So all the PDFs which are there, you can upload all the PDFs there, run it, do the analysis. So whatever you are doing, it will be with you in your computer only. It will not go to the cloud. Now, when it is not go to the clouds, there is no plagiarism. Right? Now, this is how you have to structure your paper and write a literature review. Then this increases the possibility of your paper, this is your literature, making a more sense. So if you observe clearly, what my preaching here is that bring the old school thoughts with the new school thoughts. That means the approach of literature review to be conducted, each and every research scholar should know how to write a literature review. What are the different methods? What are the themes, key thematic method or methodological, thematic, methodological? You should aware of that. And you should also know how to read a paper. Like this is how we read a newspaper. In this is journal article or any paper or not. Then you should also know what are the important aspects of that paper I need to cover for my literature review. Do this. Then you ask this work to a AI, upload all the papers, ask it to do in this format and give it to you. It will give you a draft. Now, once the draft is given, then you modify it. So, because unless otherwise you specifically tell to the AI what is that you want, it will not be given. So combine the theoretical concepts or combine the basic concepts of doing a literature review and then use the technology to do this process. Then your job is done and your literature will be more effective and more promising comparing with journal writing of, in the sense, generally what you write as a literature review. So with this, I am done with my session. So if you have any queries there, I can answer them.
Sir, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Kishore.
Sir, totally in this session, I observed only some part of there or sometimes not totally depending on the AI tools, totally depending on our knowledge, first of all. Then we implementing the scientific methods. That's all.
Right. Yes. Yes, Kishan, that's perfect.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
What is that we are doing? First, we should know what we want.
Yes.
And
Okay.
simple, I don't know you are from which place. I'll give you a simple example. You go to typical Marwari shops or clothing shops. When you go as a customer, sit there, they will give an instruction to the office boy to bring a coffee.
Yes.
That boy will never bring a coffee. Unless otherwise, the owner gives an instruction saying that now sale is done, now bring a coffee. So that is, in a sense, instruction, how you give instruction to your assistant is more important.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, please.
Sir, thank you, sir, for putting a bridge between the old school and new school method, sir. Sir, I want to ask you that is there any fixed number of paras that should be done in each session, sir? Like if it is in thematic or introduction or particular paras?
Generally, what happens is when you are writing a research article, general editors are very important in looking at your methodology section. So, more in the sense, let us say 100% is you are writing a paper, excluding your references. 10 to 15% goes for your conclusion. Then you are left out with the 85%. So in this 85%, near about 40 to 45% should be methodology part. That means your methodology, data analysis, results, everything should be around 40 to 45%, 50%. Now 50% plus 15%, 65 is gone. Now you are left out with another 35%. So 20% is introduction chapter and 15% is a literature review.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. You see, high-end journals now, because in India, we have a system called the ONOS, One Nation, One Subscription. Many higher educational institutions like IPE, we have ONOS subscription. Or Usmania University got a ONOS subscription. If you go there, all these high-end journals are available now. Government of India is subscribing for all these journals and you can have access. So to go to one library for 1 day, 2 days, download the papers and come back. Even for all the people who are sitting there in audiences, I take this opportunity from our director side that you can visit IPE campus any day, Monday to Saturday. You can have access to our library and you can freely download the papers because we have INS subscription, we have Emerald, we have Tyler and Francis, we have a best co-host. All data is available and IPE openly allows people to come and access the resources freely. Those who are in Hyderabad, you can come here for 1-2 days, get your all the articles.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Please.
Sir, for PhD thesis, literature review should be how many, sir?
For PhD, minimum 100.
In our thesis, we should mention 100 reviews.
100 reviews. Minimum 100 reviews related to your topic, not 100 different papers.
Okay. Minimum is 100.
Minimum 100. And your supervisors may ask for more. Way back when I was doing my PhD in 2004, I guess. That time I used almost 200 plus references.
Okay, sir.
And wrote a 120-page PhD thesis.
Thank you very much, sir. The session was very
Thank you.
informative, sir. Thank you very much.
Good evening, sir.
My query is you were telling about to take the references of the mostly cited papers. But what about the papers which have very less citations or no citations? Can we use those papers also for our reference purposes?
Yeah, no problem. You see, if somebody published a paper very recently, may not have a citations. But somebody
Yes.
published a paper 3 years back, till date no citation, mean nobody is interested in reading that paper.
Okay.
When nobody is interested in reading that paper, citing that paper, now why is that you are doing it?
Okay.
So
Okay,
any
sir.
good paper will obviously will have readers and obviously have citations.
Okay, sir.
That is the logic of citation. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Sir, one more thing. Just now you said we have difficulty in having open access for all the high-end journals, and you advised us to download and all. But the abstract is available. So can we take that for our any reference or any other thing? Will it be useful?
No.
Only abstracts will be there. Some little information will be there. Can we use that also?
No.
No.
Because abstract will not give you exact methodology.
That's what, sir. Okay.
Yes, it will
Okay,
be
sir.
a simple island. It will not.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Construct-based literature review, yeah, can be, because if you're doing a new construct, then you can build a literature according to that. Earlier, what are the factors which has been considered, why it has been construct is not working. Then you build your own construct, identifying new variables. Yeah, you can work. Actually, Vijay, initially I thought of combining this group also with the Bangalore group, because there also today the same session is going on, literature review. Dr. Kalyan is handling. And I thought, okay, my version of explaining will be different from her version. They are all new school thought. Yeah. So yeah, we can. Thank you.
Yeah, very good evening, one and all. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah, very good evening, sir. So, good evening to one and all. It is my privilege to propose a vote of thanks for today's enriching session on the second day of the 7-day faculty development program organized by the Department of Physical Sciences at Little Flower Degree College affiliated to Usmania University. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed resource person, Professor Y. Ramakrishna, sir, Professor and Program Head, IPE, for delivering an insightful session on literature review using AI tools. Sir has mainly focused on the AI tool, that is Schematic Scholar, how we can analyze the multiple journals and select the journal which is more effective and can be easily further extended in the area of the research. Sir also gave a clear informative session on why the purpose of the literature as to identify the various articles and also references in the journals which can be more effectively, which can be analyzed by using knowledge concerned in the area of the field of research. Sir has also included how to present the literature review in the concerned area, which plays a very crucial role in analyzing the various articles by using the various themes such as chronological order, thematical order, methodology, and pyramid, and also by the wheel theme. Sir, expertise and clarity of explanation, the practical approach have greatly enhanced our participants how to understand this AI, and which can be effectively used for the support for the research and publication. The session has truly inspired us to adopt the innovative tools in our academic pursuit. We sincerely thank our principal, Mrs. Jayanti Reddy, and also our brother John Calarical for giving us this opportunity to organize this 7-day FDP program. Even I also thank the staff members for their coordination and cooperation in all aspects. A special word of thanks to all the participants for their active involvement thoughtful interactions, and enthusiasm which made the session lively and meaningful. Thank you, one and all. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Naveen. Thank you very much. Thank you, Vijay.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot.